What's going on, guys? Jurassic here. Today we're doing the Call of Duty Cold War Easter egg for the Forsaken map. Let's go and get on into it. Special thank you to Electric Elite Warrior and Little John for helping me out for this. So basically this first part is going to rely on points, so you want to try to get as much as possible. For a main group, I'd say you need to wait till about round 5. For 2-man group, about round 7. That way you can actually run around and buy all the doors.
Final battle. Today, the downfall of Omega begins. Get inside. I will provide overwatch.
So the plan is to start the teleporter because it takes 30 seconds to build.
Get him to evac. He's our only chance to stop the Forsaken.
So if you stay inside this area, they're going to constantly spawn in, or if you go through the portal and then go back, it's going to slow it down. So either way, works out for you guys. If you stay in this area though, the zombies are just going to constantly spawn in, just so you're aware.
Glad you're here to
Once you have enough points, if you hop
crowd
down, head over to the arcade first of all, we're going to start getting the parts for the teleporter. So there's going to be a spawn right here on the box.
If you want to stop Omega,
It's going to be one on the shelf. There's going to be one in the very back box here. And then if we go all the way up the stairs, there's going to be another spawn on top of the table right here, right next to the cigars. Alright, so now that we got all that set up, so let's go and run around, hop down here, head into the TV shop. There's going to be a couple of different spawns for this one as well. So there's going to be one next to the radio. There's going to be one over here in the back little shelf here. There's going to be one found on the counter, and then there's going to be one on like the very back shelf next to the TV.
We cannot allow that thing into our reality.
Alright, so now we're on to the next part. We're going to head into the movie theater. Let's go and get the door open. Boom. This one's going to have multiple spawns as well. So there's going to be one behind the main counter, one inside of the mannequin's hands. There's going to be one found on the right side over here.
You fools, you want to stop the Forsaken? Why am I not
Then
surprised?
Burger Town's going to have the last piece. So there's going to be 2 different places. There's going to be one on the right side here, or there's going to be one right there in the middle. This one's kind of the easiest one to find.
represents a weapon to which
And one right there.
has no answer. Zykov will show us where he is hidden, or suffer the consequences.
That teleporter should get you to Kravchenko in Peck, but not while the damn thing's busted.
Alright, so as soon as you build this, basically it's going to be 2 rounds after you get power properly on for the teleporter before you can start working on the wonder weapons. That's why we try to do it as low as possible. So let's go and teleport through here like so. There's going to be a little bit of a crazy abomination that we're going to have to
They
fight.
got that whole sub-level on lockdown.
After this, we're going to be doing the processing tanks and all that, because that should make it a little bit easier. Basically, the lower level rounds is possible to do some of these harder things, the easier it's going to be. Sometimes it's going to be a little bit more difficult since you don't have like a pack-punch weapon doing it this early. But typically, doing it as quick as possible is a little bit easier on the boss fight. Wise, depending on what everybody actually has for weapons. If you wait long enough, it's not going to be too bad. That way everyone gets decked out, but typically you should be able to do these Easter eggs within like round 20 or so. So once you teleport across, there's going to be a little button around over here in the main area. Just slap this one down like a circle and turn around over to your right and slap the next button. It's going to trigger a cutscene.
Tick-tock, Requiem. Once again, you're too late.
My friends, you did it. You brought me home. I have long awaited this day to take what is mine. 40 Earth years, 4 Dark Ether centuries, abandoned, trapped, left to die. But I endured. I fought. I consumed. I evolved. You trusted me and did as I asked. You built the machine that could bring me back. The Dark Ether shall consume your world. This realm is mine.
Colonel, you have to believe me. I didn't realize he was the creature.
You fucking fool. The wolf was at our door and you let him in. You have doomed us all.
All is not lost. Not yet.
Sam, what are you doing?
What I have to do, Weaver. For the good of us all. This is not your world to take!
Your world will fall, like all those before you.
I can hold him back for now, but please get to.
What the hell just happened in there?
It's Zykov. He's the Forsaken. We need to get to the town square.
I've got an access point, but it's flooded by the phase. You're gonna need an Ethereum neutralizer.
Colonel, this isn't my fault. You get that
Alright,
right?
so there's going to be processing tanks over here. You need to have everybody inside of your group hit the button at the exact same time. If it does not work, you're going to wait till the next round.
Little shit. Pick up that pistol. If we die now, I cannot kill you later.
As long as you do it successfully, you'll see like this little blue area, which basically means that you need to just kill inside of this area. It does take a little bit. Now, if you mess this up on accident, it's going to sit here and say cooling down, and it's just going to be constantly sitting in that sort of zone like that. Unfortunately, there's no way to do it again inside of the middle of the round there. And we did find that with 4 people, it seems to be a little bit harder to get it to work, but it is actually doable. Alright, so let's see here. So let's run around here. Now, there's going to be basically every single little boss inside this game here, so if you are able to have a pack-a-punch weapon by now, obviously that's going to help out a little bit more. I did take the Ring of Fire with me. Basically, the Ring of Fire, in my opinion, is one of the most important ones to actually bring. But if you guys want to bring some of the other perks inside of the game, go ahead, because it's not too essential in this one. The boss fight, it's kind of funny. The boss fight's not actually too hard. The way they set this guy up, since the game sort of gives you a whole bunch of weapons that you guys will see later on after you break some crystals. So I mean, it's not too bad. But this area at level 9 is definitely a little hectic, obviously. There's a whole bunch of crazy spawns here, so we're going to speed it up and just try to get everything done as quick as possible, and then you'll see this little area like so. Alright, so as soon as you hear that, there it's going to calm down. The part's going to drop down from the ceiling there.
Well, Ethereum. That tank will help.
Alright, nice! On over into the next area. So we got one part of the neutralizer. Basically, you're going to be working on the neutralizer and the wonder weapon at the exact same time. Now, you want to make sure that you are pack punched by the stage.
Unfortunately,
We were blind to its true motives, just like Omega. If we had done as Zykov asked, we would have made the same mistake Peck just did.
Unidentified anomaly exiting dimensional breach.
Alright, so if you run through the corridor inside of the blue Aether realm, there's going to be a shelf which basically is going to have the next weapon we need to start getting towards. So basically we're going to have to stand around and try to get the Abomination to run into the wall right here in the corner and tackle it. As long as the Abomination is able to tackle the wall, you should have the part fall down. Sometimes you're going to have to do this a couple times until like curve slightly and not actually hit it. But as long as you get it, you should be good to go. Now, the last part we're going to need him to do is to shock a crystal. It does not need to be inside the blue realm, so if you need to just go anywhere for this part, it's not too bad of a thing. So he's going to do 3 main moves. He does do like a bite, he does like a run where he'll actually like start scratching with his paw to know he's going to run, or he's going to do the zap, which basically he sort of like steps back a couple seconds. So that's going to get us a part for the water weapon.
Poor thing looked like it suffered just being alive.
Alright, so now that we got all that accomplished, we need a flamethrower and to burn one of the red zombies. So that should drop the second water weapon part. Third one's going to be found inside the bar right next to Juggernog. So that's going to be the first one on the left there. I want to speed up this part here because it does take a little bit of killing here. So basically there's going to be 3 different rounds. The first round is going to be a little bit easier. Second round is going to have a little bit of the blue elementals that spawn around and try to zap you. Third round is going to have the mimics. But as long as you get all that stuff done, it's honestly not too hard. Especially if you're in a group here. So all you have to do is run over as soon as you hear that noise to start the second one. Now this one is actually time-based, it's not round-based, so you are able to do 2 in one go if you do it early enough inside the round, so just keep that in mind while you're actually progressing. So here, so let's go and shoot this dude's face. And by the way, you do more damage to abominations if you shoot them in the face, for anyone curious on how to kill them a little bit quicker. Alright, so now we're able to pick up the part.
That's one of Strauss's favorites. I know. I couldn't believe it either. He has favorite rocks. Cute, isn't it?
Now, to build this, we're going to have to go back to the portals in order to make it to the area. So let's just run across over there real quick.
Only in the dark ether. Pity. I wanted to see what all the fuss was about.
Alright, so now that we're in the area, there's going to be this little septic tank over here. You're able to hold X in this area. It's not going to prompt you, but you're just going to have to hold X, and then you're going to need to do melee kills. Now, it sort of works hand in hand here. If you have a tomahawk, technically that counts as a melee kill as well, just so you guys are aware. If you're able to obviously have like an insta-kill or something going on at this point, it's actually a little bit easier, but eventually the tank is going to fill and you're going to have the wonder weapon pop out of the box here. You are able to get the wonder weapon from like a mystery box as well if you get super lucky. So once you get enough, it's going to do this whole purple flare thing, knock everybody back on the ground, and now you have the wonder weapon.
How is that even possible?
Window. Take if you have to.
Alright, so the next step is going to be to head back to the arcade. There's going to be this Grand Prix arcade thing that you need to actually have a weapon and shock near. For some reason, ours didn't actually need us to shock just right in the middle of the round and activate it, but typically you need to have a weapon with a shock mod on and actually be able to turn that guy on. But it's going to spawn RCXD. You don't want to get this hit by a zombie. If you get hit by a zombie, you're just going to have to spend another $2 grand. So follow inside of this TV shop here. There's going to be a shelf over here on the right side. If you just like drive into it and blow up, you're going to have a TV fall inside of the area for you. So you just want to park typically right there. It's going to blow up and grab the TV.
But it'll work in a pinch.
Alright, so now we're going to head over to this area on the left side here. You're going to see 3 different crystal spawns. So there's one. They're going to do it while we work on this crystal. So basically there's going to be 3 little purple orbs flying around. It is going to be a little hectic to try to shoot these guys because the first one dies and they start speeding up, and the last one is going to be a little bit harder after that. So it might take a little bit of team cooperation to try to get all this stuff done here, especially with like the Tempest and everything inside of the area.
Hey, asshole. This creature, it's gonna kill all of us. It doesn't give a damn about east or west. So you have 2 choices. Be useful and help, or shut the fuck up. Seriously? Can't believe this.
No, they can chemically alter crystals. The eye peck. Oh, did you not know that?
Now, you just need to destroy that crystal.
No, I wonder, Dr. Peck.
For your sake.
Act of remorse? Or are you trying to weasel your way into the winning side?
That should do it.
I'm sorry, Dr. Peck, but that's not quite right. Everything found the crystal needs to be catalyzed first. Otherwise, it just goes kaboom.
How about that? I'll be damned.
Nice long audio dialogue there. Alright, so basically we're going to need to kill a few things to get some ammo. They do actually have max ammos, or there's going to be bullets that drop from the zombies. If you're using the wonder weapon, it'll show up as a legendary drop on there. But as soon as we're able to destroy this purple crystal here in the middle, we're basically able to stab it, and then we will be able to go into the next area. Now, it's going to be a little bit easier to do this not in the middle of the round here, so you might want to try to like save a zombie. But as soon as the last one actually gets hit, you're able to chop up the crystal like so. This is going to spawn in an abomination, just so you guys are aware, but there's going to be a little bit of a snack here. And we're going to make sure he's a little bit of a good boy, so toss it inside of his mouth. There we go, boom. He's going to sit here and eat it, and see how his tail glows? That's how you know you did it correctly. Now all you gotta do is sit here and kill the abomination. On round 17 with the wonder weapons, it's honestly not too bad to just sit here and attack him with an axe and just like fully slice him up here. So let's go ahead and pick up the piece like so. Now, while we were doing that, they did do the other one, just so you guys are aware, but we're going to head over into the power and show you guys the next crystal, just that way everybody's all caught up on the same exact page. If you have a Pack-a-Punch level 2 wonder weapon, it seems to be a little bit easier to hit the stuff, since you have a little bit more ammo. Basically, all I gotta do is kill a whole bunch of zombies here, break the crystal. It's going to have another abomination spawn in. Now, while you're doing this, zombies do spawn after every single orb is shot, so keep that in mind as well. Got us another little treat here, so now we just need to search for the abomination and toss him in his mouth. Alright, so he's going to be powered up. Obviously, the higher up you go, the more health these guys are going to have, so it might take a little bit, and you definitely want to try to like run away from just like so. Sometimes it definitely takes a little bit more strategizing where you should actually run to, but once he's dead, all you have to do is pick up the last part for the neutralizer, and you should be good to go.
Let's assemble that device.
You would build this right next to the tombstone perk.
If we can kill this thing, we should try to capture it using the containment chamber Omega built. The director will handle it from there.
I will just let you take what is rightfully mine? The Forsaken is destined to bring about Soviet supremacy, ending your capitalist reign. What's going on? What are you doing?
Colonel, they're breaking through!
You idiot! Watch who you're shooting! The gas line!
Oh my god. Are they... Do you think they're alright?
We need to get moving. Grab the device.
Neutralizer online.
So as soon as you grab the device, it's actually going to require all of the people inside of your match to be right inside of this area here. So if somebody is outside of the circle here, they're actually going to sort of stall it down some.
But I'm not sure I can do it alone.
Hang in there, Sam. The team's on their way.
So there's going to be little red crystals around like the left and right side here. So if you see them on the left side here, all you got to do is shoot the crystal. It's going to drop a little packet down on the ground. You run over to this main area here, put the item inside of it, and it's able to move. But as you guys can see, since our fourth person is not here just quite yet, it's actually not going to be moving. And as soon as we exit this circle here, we are going to slowly start taking damage. Alright, so not all 4 people inside of here. There's going to be little packets on the ground that you're able to pick up. So basically, all we have to do is shoot the crystals while it's moving. It's honestly not too bad since it moves so slow. But as soon as we step outside of the circle, we're going to slowly start taking damage. So you might want to run around the correct paths and everything. So go around that box, grab you, stick it inside, and honestly, it's not too bad to manage. Seems like the zombies in this area definitely slow down. Now, if you guys are worried about like needing to have like a wonder fizz or something, there is going to be all that stuff at the very end of this area. So you don't necessarily need to have everything there in case like somebody dies during this part. So there's going to be a couple crystals found on like the top of the area here. So there's going to be ladders all around. Basically, you want to try to find the ladder, climb up, grab the piece, and hop back down. It is going to be a little bit outside of the zone, so you are going to take a little bit of damage. So we're going to climb up the ladder here on the left side, and you should see the piece right there glowing to pick it up. and hop back on down. Now, if you guys notice, like the main base area there, you can actually see how much power it actually has in order to move.
If you knew who your enemy was, the truth is, sometimes the enemy comes from within.
Neutralizer refueled.
Another crystal being found up top, so I mean, honestly, it's not too bad. So all you have to do is search around for all like the little red objects, and then you should be good. So there's going to be one found on the bottom here, and obviously there's going to be one found on the top. The one at the bottom you have to grab first. It's going to slowly move towards a ladder, which you're able to hop up and grab that other piece. So let's make sure everything's all cleared out. Now, if it runs out of power, it's just going to stop moving, and the circle that's protecting us is slowly going to start collapsing in. But it's not at a point to where it's going to be, oh my god, it's freaking out, we need to do it now. It typically gives you plenty of time to actually manage things.
Isn't a bad thing. Change is part of life. Good luck, my friend.
Alright, so let's grab the crystal up here, nice, and hop along down here and deposit it inside of the neutralizer. And that was going to be the very last crystal. So basically, this is going to be the area that spawns in all the extra items in case you guys need to do some last minute restocking and everything. As long as you guys are ready, come over here to the door, activate it, and now you made it to the boss fight.
Glad to hear it. Let's finish this together.
So during this first phase, you want to do as much damage to the crystals as possible. Max's daughter Samantha is going to be over here on the right side of the map here, and basically you want to go underneath her and try to kill as much zombies as possible, or if you have people focused on the crystals, both work. So you notice this little blue health bar, basically that's going to be the amount of shield. Now technically, during this first phase, they speak enough to where you're actually able to break 2 crystals, so just aim for both shoulders at this current time. Once it pops though, you see how it sort of says it's immune. Basically, you just need to keep trying to do that. Now there is going to be some max ammos and a whole bunch of things dropping from the enemy spawn in, so you should have plenty of bullets. But as soon as you get that done, she's going to zap the cannon here, and you're going to want to aim at the shoulder on the right side. And as soon as you start shooting the shoulder, he's going to start losing a whole bunch of health. And it does a ton of damage to him, so this is why I was saying this one's kind of weird, because it's not like it's higher rounds is going to be like too rough on you. But now we're going to be focusing on the other shoulder, so you want to run over to the left side of the map, and Samantha is going to be found over here. Basically, you got to feed her a whole bunch of zombies in order to do this, and since we already broke the left shoulder pad there, we're not really able to hurt him anymore. As you can see, he doesn't have the blue health bar also. So this area was kind of nice. All you had to do is like kill around here. But once she's all full, she's going to fly over to the gun on this side. We shoot the next shoulder. Then we're good. So let's see. So we run around to the back side here. Get in the laser cannon. Shoot him in the left shoulder here and try to do as much damage as possible. Now, it doesn't seem like there is a very particular spot you need to shoot. It seems like regardless of wherever you're shooting, it's always going to be critical damage.
You are so eager to stop me. Would you like to see how that story ends? Gaze upon the future.
No one escapes alive.
Should you defeat me?
Leave them alone!
So while we're fighting the main boss here, Max is obviously going to be trying to do as much power as possible to compete against him. So now that we did that, we're going to come back over here to the left side and see his little chest area crystal. That's the next one that we're going to be focusing on. You want to try to feed her as much zombies as possible and do as much damage to the crystals. So there's going to be Abomination spawned in, and sometimes she moves around, so you just have to find her again. She's going to be right there directly in the front. We broke that crystal, so now all we have to do is feed Samantha all the zombies that she needs, and she's going to be powering up the next cannon. As soon as you get that cannon done, you'll be aiming right directly at his chest. Alright, so let's see. You definitely want to make sure you're doing some team cooperation here. He does do a laser beam. I actually wanted to see if we could like take it while he was shooting us. I'm pretty sure he was shooting us, but we were able to slice him in half. I feel like this gun definitely blocks a little bit of the shots for you though, but as long as you have Jug, you should be fine. So while this is happening, you want to try to shoot him in the very top of the head here and break all of his armor. As soon as that is done, Samantha is going to be able to go over to her turret and have that fully activated, and you're going to be able to finally take on the Forsaken once and for all. Load up the gun, aim at the head, and try to kill him as best as possible. So basically at this point the boss is no longer going to be satisfied for what you're trying to do, so you're just going to want to try to shoot as many zombies as possible, because there's nothing you can do to actually prevent this next step from happening.
We're getting reports of outbreak zones expanding around the globe.
You will not consume this world! Not as long as I am here!
Sam, whatever you're thinking of doing, don't do it!
I'm not a bad person, Weaver. I am a good soul. I know what I have to do. I'm sorry. This is the only way.
She's gone. Back into the dark ether.
The Forsaken is secure. Dimensional breaches are closing around the world.
It's over. It's done.
Jurassic,
I need to rent a boat.
where do you need to go?
Here.
Are you sure? There is nothing there. What is it you are looking for?
I'm looking for some old friends.
Happening. Alright guys, well thanks so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.